we are doing this obviously in person today. Thank you to everyone who came out. The first question is there any public comment? Are we aware of any public comment? Keep it online. No. Okay. Okay, the first item on our agenda is the chair's report, my report. And I attended the PSTA Board of Directors meeting on December 3rd, which was so long ago now that I barely remember it. All right, but what I was reminded is that at that meeting, the board approved the proposal to take over the operation of the Cross Bay Ferry, which will be called the Tampa Bay Ferry. And the plan includes pursuing the purchase of a used ferry from an organization in San Francisco, California, and with the local service to run the Tampa Bay Sea Taxi Incorporated, and that's Hubbard's Marina. And they were there at the meeting, and it, did we get the bid on the approval on the used ferry that they were gonna get?
We got an approval to spend up to a certain amount.
Oh, okay.
And we're still pursuing that as well as looking at some other options, just to keep our options open. But there's been some challenges with acquiring the San Francisco ferry, really beyond our control. It has to do with the difficulty in federal funds getting released to California for them to buy their new boats, and that's
Oh.
affecting their ability to release
The
their
old
current inventory to us.
Okay. Well, it'll be, I'm sure we're all waiting with bated breath to see when it all happens and we have our system going. That sounds great. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Forward Pinellas report. And first of all, Elizabeth Olden, who's been serving as our track representative, has stepped down from the track and therefore is obviously stepping down from the position on the Forward Pinellas Citizens Advisory Committee. And so she's been a wonderful, participant in that program. We really appreciate it a great deal.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, I know. I spoke with her the other day and she's doing okay, but she said for personal reasons, she needed to step away from all this. And I think all of us can appreciate, there are, a lot of us have been, I know Elizabeth's been involved with the track for a very long time. Probably 8 years, I think probably, and several years on the CAC, so we wish her the best. But with that, the track representative to the CAC is a voluntary position where a track member will attend. And it's a monthly meeting on the fourth Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. And then, as I think you've seen, that representative gives an update to the committee on what was covered there. I've was on the CAC for a while as well, and I think you've all heard me say about how valuable I find the interaction between our committee and what goes on at Forward Pinellas. And so I'm wondering if anyone would be interested in offering up their services as being the new CAC rep for us.
He would.
Yeah, he's retired.
Oh yeah, Bob has a lot of time, that's true. Let's nominate Bob.
I don't know, do we need to choose that person today, or can we say that you have like if by next month, could you offer up your name, or is there anyone today who's interested?
Yeah, if there is anyone today.
Is there anyone today who's interested? I'm not seeing anyone.
How
Like I
many
said,
people we don't have today? We have a quorum, but how many people we don't have?
we have 11 people on the committee and
We're missing Jay,
oh yeah,
our
Oh,
vice
Jay's-
chair. I think we're missing Peter Ray. I think we're missing Mark Boyce.
Nope.
no, Mark Boyce is here.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Richard.
It's okay.
Richard?
Yes.
Oh,
Daniel.
duh,
Okay,
This is the
so
way to
it's
do
three
it.
people, okay.
Richard McDaniel.
Couldn't make it.
But of the 3 people that we're missing, how many people could we have total? And in other words, are we able to add additional people?
to the track.
Yeah.
So we like, how many?
Oh, that's
16,
a whole
12?
other issue,
Oh.
but yes, I'm sure
Well, I'm
that-
just trying to find out because I think it would be good for us to get more people. If we can.
And it's always harder to see what, for the live meetings, there are people who obviously have no difficulty getting here. But that's a good question, I don't know, if we add more people, we can certainly add somebody who might be willing to do the CAC rep as well. Anyway, please think about it and consider it. Like I said, I know I've done it, in the past, Elizabeth was doing it. It is a night meeting, it's a 7 p.m. meeting, so that people who work can attend. But it's very helpful, again, to have a voice of transit riders too on that committee, talking about, when they're talking about the, Forward Pinellas deals with all kinds of issues around transportation in the county and moving people around the county. And it's so good to have someone who's specifically from track who's talking about what it means to the riders of our transit system, so I would ask you to seriously consider it. Yes?
Quick question, could everything what you said, Gloria, could we had it in an email and you just, the purpose, the commitment, once a month from 7 to, just making sure that people who are not here also could consider that? I know that,
Yeah,
that
we could certainly.
that note separately to us
Mhm.
could help us make a decision.
I would think so, that's a good idea, I think. Okay, well, good.
Let me ask you a couple questions about that. How long a meeting is it? 7 until when?
I'm sorry,
Sorry. How long a meeting is it? 7 until when?
9 usually, it's usually about a 2-hour meeting.
And when is the last
Hi, Jay.
59 leaving here heading west?
That I don't know.
I can tell you, last 59,
Heading west, yes.
Well, the meetings are actually held in downtown Clearwater. They're right near where they're at the offices of Forward Pinellas, which is on Court Street in Clearwater. And so it would be whatever the bus you would take to Park Street, back from Park Street.
18 maybe.
Yeah.
59, they
Yeah.
just cut back severely.
18, I don't know, it might be possible. If not, yeah, that's my main thing, especially if you're telling me it's farther away than I thought.
So the adding address makes point, yeah.
Yeah,
Madam Chair, I think Elizabeth said, or somebody told me that you can do the CAC virtually.
Oh,
They do offer a virtual option too.
I think you're not allowed to vote, but yes, you can do the meeting virtually too. I
oh,
think that's right, but yeah, it's any of those meetings, you can't vote.
Right.
Yeah, I guess if for lack of if that makes it possible for someone to do it, then I think then that is a good consideration, because you can still make comments and your voice matters.
Let me look into that and also look into when the last bus from there to, say, Largo Mall, which is where I live right near. Let me see when that is, because right now I don't have a view on the road, so I'm depending on PSTA.
Last bus leaves PSTA on 59 at 8:39.
Last one from up there at Park Street.
Should be the 18th.
I think you wanted
18 's
8:30.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then
See,
if I did, I'd have to do it virtually, yeah, because if we're not getting out until 9.
Well, and that's an interesting point. It may be the kind of thing where we have 2 people ultimately, that on certain, months.
alternate, you mean?
Yeah, so it's a little less of a burden. I mean, cause I could even do a virtual once in a while too, but I'm also on the bicycle pedestrian committee for Forward Pinellas,
Mhm.
for the same reason. Our voices matter, and
Yeah.
when we speak about that, they listen. Yes, sir.
you could, if we can't get somebody, you can let them know. We had a few people interested, but they just cut the routes, so we can't make it, sorry.
Here's our leverage.
I know. I think we can all appreciate that, Mark, I think that's absolutely true.
You can catch the 52 at Park Street at 9:30, right at the end of the meeting. And get here to PSTA, can be
Once a month.
get to PSTA. 42 minutes later.
Okay, well, wait, the 18 leaves Park Street at when, 9:30?
No.
52 leaves
Oh, the
at
52.
9:30.
The 18 leaves Park Street up until 11:10 p.m. So there's plenty of Route 18s leaving Park Street going south as well.
And how far off the 18 route is the, oh, no, that's right, you said it's right near the terminal.
Where the meeting is?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a block and a half away, yeah. So you're considering it?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I think that's appropriate, we'll send out an email and you know, again, outline what the issues are and that'll give people a
I
chance.
can
So
do
thank
it
you.
virtually too.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know what the rules are about that, whether it can be, you know, a shared responsibility, but I like that idea because it is a, you know, okay, well, good, well, thank you. So we'll basically table that decision until the next meeting, but we will send out an information sheet on it.
And commitment is for everyone to remember, it's participate virtually or physically and to give a report on our monthly
Thank you.
today,
Yes,
you know,
that's
so
right.
that people understand, it's not just say hi, you know, to
Right.
report to us, right?
Right,
That's what
exactly.
you're saying.
Yeah, so that it comes back to us.
And staff can assist with the meeting write-ups.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so you don't have
Oh,
to
thank you.
do that from scratch by yourself. Staff can help you out with sending you the notes.
Oh, I didn't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, including the people at Forward Pinellas can even give you a summary as well, of what was covered as well. Okay, very
Yeah.
good. Thank you. Okay, the next item we have, which is an action item, is to select our committee chair and vice chair. And the first thing I'd like to do is ask for any volunteers or nominations for chair,
I nominate Jay.
for chair.
Support it.
Are you not staying on? Are you not staying on?
I can stay on, I mean, either way, I think is absolutely
Okay.
fine.
Well, I
Oh, if
nominate
you're
Gloria.
staying on.
Well, let me ask you, Jay, did you want to stay on as vice chair, or did you want to be chair? I mean, it becomes.
I like vice chair, slightly less responsibility.
I nominate Jay for vice chair.
I second.
Third.
Okay, so we've got several. How about for chair? Is there a nomination for chair? Is there anyone
I
else?
I
nominate
thought you were
Gloria.
staying on.
Glory.
Well, I have to be reelected each year anyway.
I nominate you.
Yeah, I think you just
Me
had like
too.
5 people nominate
You're
you,
the
Gloria.
best for that. If you don't mind.
I think you
I
have
will
to be very
accept the
careful with the
nomination.
power you have, you know?
And do we, I guess the first thing we need for the chair is, do we have any other nominations?
You're amazing.
Okay, then let's have a vote on me to continue as chair.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I guess that passes.
Point of
Then,
order.
yeah,
I've never seen more enthusiastic support for a returning chair in my whole career.
It is amazing.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
You raised us well, Bob.
I cannot.
Well, I think I reflect the enthusiasm that I hear from the people in this committee, so I think it's. Now, the second is, we've had a nomination of Jay to continue as the vice chair, and I would second that too.
Alternate.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor of Jay as
Aye.
vice chair?
Shouldn't you be asking for other,
Oh, I'm sorry, you're
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
right.
any other nominations?
I
Yeah.
didn't, no, thank you. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Or volunteers interested? Okay, well then let's get the vote on Jay for vice chair. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
aye,
Anyone opposed? Well, thank you, so this is this year like last year. And again, and again, remember that, you know, as we go through this over the year, if you're thinking, you know what, I'd like to try that, next year is again another opportunity, because it really is, it is actually very enjoyable to be in the, you know, chair. So,
Why can't we have a treasurer? I wanna collect dues. I'm
we're
pretty,
not.
We don't have any
I'm pretty sure you all would probably read in the newspaper where I was indicted for embezzlement.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we won't do that.
Just a joke.
Yes.
He's recorded, by the way, so like, the FBI.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is that we need to approve the September, October, and November minutes. Did you all have a chance to look at those? I can't say that I looked at them very carefully, so, but is there a motion to approve the minutes for those 3 months?
I move to approve the minutes for the 3 months.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Thank you, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that we approve the minutes. Okay. Alright, then our first information item
Yes, as long as.
is we are going to again welcome back Planning Manager Jacob Labutka. Is he around?
Jacob was unexpectedly called out this week, so he dealing with something personal, and so I am filling in for Jacob today.
So you're gonna tell us about the planned service changes for the first Sunday in February, which is really just a few days away. And the changes will be focused on making adjustments to last fall's large connected community bus plan implementation.
Yes.
Thank you, so this is Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Nicole Dufa, Director of Planning and Scheduling here at PSTA. I'm excited to be here before you. I know I'm stepping in to Jacob's very large, enthusiastic shoes, but I hope I can do him a little justice. I love coming to TRAC and presenting to TRAC. It's been, I think, more than 2 years since I've been at the TRAC meeting, so thank you all for having me. So here today, I will be talking to you all about some of the service changes coming up effective February 1st. So before I dive into some of the service changes that we'll be implementing February 1st, I know we wanted to just take a quick look at some of the ridership from CCBN. So while this is maybe not the most surprising to us, so in November 2025, our ridership did decrease a little over 10% from October 2025. As with any major service change, we did a huge system redesign, and it takes some time for folks to adjust to some of the changes that are that came out of that October change. And so we sort of expected this. Other transit agencies similar size to ours, even as large as, say, the Washington DC Metro, Houston Metro, Knoxville Area Transit, so that's more smaller than those large systems, but all of them have seen a ridership dip right after implementing a large service network redesign, similar to the way PSTA did. One of the things that we know is directly tied to ridership is on-time performance. So if your buses are running late, then you're not going to ride those buses. So in November, immediately after our service change, when we saw that we were having some on-time performance issues with a handful of routes, we did an interim service change. So November 30th, 2025, we implemented a couple of emergency fixes to particularly the Route 52. Anyone here take the Route 52 regularly? So if you rode the 52, then you knew that there was some lateness going on there. So we wanted to address that as quickly as we could. So in November, we rescheduled some of the 52 trips, added a bus in there to make sure that it stayed on time. We added, we heard from riders that were coming from the Goodwill facility where they have a residential program there. And they were not able to get back to the facility on time. So we wanted to adjust that and we added a trip on the Route 9 serving Goodwill and then Gateway Mall. One of the other issues that we fixed in November, because it was a technological issue, software issue, at the downtown Third and Third transfer point there, we were having buses coming in that said not in service, but they were actually a route, so you experienced that. That was due to an issue with the way that we interline two routes, and by interline, we have, say, the Route 16 was operating down 16th Street, coming into downtown, it was gonna change to become a 38. And then so change to the 38, and then it would go out onto then serve its Route 38 on 38th Avenue. That change between the 16 and the 38 was keeping the not in service sign in there too long. And so we knew that we wanted to address it, so that was another fix that we put in effective November 30th. So that should not be happening anymore. And so with some of those changes, particularly on the Route 52, and then giving it some time, this is our ridership in December. So you'll see here, while we did come down in November, we've actually recovered half of the ridership that we lost so far. So in December, it's looking a little promising, and we're hoping to see that trend continue into January and February as well. In particular, once we institute the changes that I'll go into shortly. PSTA is constantly getting rider feedback. Here are a few of the ways that we're asking riders to let us know about any issues or challenges that they're experiencing or anything that they really like about the service. We have our customer service info line that all of you should be familiar with. All of those comments that come through the info line, if they're related to a route service, whether it's time of day, scheduling, on-time performance issues, lateness, anything like that, they all come to the planning and scheduling department as well as our operations department. So we see a lot of that feedback come through from customer service. We have riders who have been emailing our Connected Community Bus Network email, ccbn@psta.net. As we've come along a few months since our implementation, we've not had as many emails there, but any riders who know about that email have let us know there about any issues or challenges they're experiencing. But we also have our drivers. We have a bunch of drivers who have formed a safety patrol where they support their other operators out and about at our major transfer points throughout the county. And they're actually, firsthand, boots on the ground, seeing any issues related to our service and letting us know there as well. And so if anyone still would like to use that, CCBN email is still live. Feel free to share that with anyone or share the info line as well, and any of those comments will come directly to the planning department. So as far as the service changes go, we have a couple that are coming up here February 1st. One of the major ones is some routing changes on the Route 49 and Route 66. So here, let me get my little button here. So one of the complaints that we heard on the Route 49 in particular was how there used to be a one-seat ride from South St. Pete to the courthouse. And then with the change at with the Connected Community Bus Network, we were no longer providing that service, and folks would have to transfer at PSTA or at Largo Transit Center in order to catch the 52 that would take them to the Pinellas County Courthouse here. But so what we did is we actually this is the current routing, so you have the 66 that was going up 66th Street. This was a new section of a route for the 66. We had never served this part of 66th Street before. And then the 49 was picking up this part of the former 79 for those folks who are used to taking those routes. So this was this 58th Street into the High Point neighborhood. It's serving, there's an SPC campus, or sorry, a PTech campus, PTC campus here. SPC is right down here. And so wanting to keep this service here, because we know that there is a lot of ridership in this area, but this was a new section for us. So we had, actually had very minimal ridership in this area. We went ahead and made the change as such. So we're actually gonna keep the 49 all the way up 49th Street to Roosevelt Boulevard to serve Largo Transit Center here, providing these connections to these critical areas along 49th Street. And then the way that the Route 79 used to be, where we had coming up 66th Street, right on Ulmer 10, left on 58th Street, And then here, this is 150th Ave North so doing that same routing that the 79 used to do. So bringing, kind of swapping the 49 and the 66, or swapping the 66 with the 49 and then putting the 49 all the way on 49th Street all the way up. So this is one of the big changes that we're making to routing in February. We're also adding some early trips on both routes to be able to serve Grand Central and downtown a little bit earlier in the morning to make better connections to routes that are transferring there. We're making a change on the Route 52B as well. It is actually currently on detour. One of the issues on the Route 52 that we're experiencing is this right turn here from Clearwater Largo Road onto Rosary Road. The city of Largo worked really hard to make this turn a little bit safer for PSTA buses. However, and they moved the stop bar back for us so that the bus can make a wider turn. However, the turn, it's still just too tight for all of our buses to consistently make that turn. And not all of the drivers are even well aware of the stop bar moving. And so they're still a little bit too close to the area where our buses are making that turn. And so there is a detour that's currently happening right now, so this is the dotted line in orange here, where the Route 52B is on detour. It's actually making the right on Missouri instead of going all the way to Clearwater Largo Road and coming on Rosary. It's turning right onto Missouri, and then going to continue and make its left turn onto Jasper here before getting on MLK and going into Park Street. So this is the current detour. It's been on that detour since maybe a week or two after implementation, when we consistently were having challenges making that right turn. So this detour will become permanent effective February 1st. Similarly, another route that's making a really tight turn, the Route 65 coming down Fort Harrison and making a right turn onto Jeffords. No, we don't want to end this webinar. Do we want to end the webinar? So making this right turn onto Jeffords here, it's just too tight for our operators as well. And so instead, it's on detour to use Myrtle. And so it's been taking Myrtle now for the last over the last month, and this detour will become permanent as of February 1st, making that right turn onto Jeffords there. And then other service changes that are coming up, we're adding that Goodwill trip that was actually added because we added it after our official service change. It is not on the schedule, and so now it'll officially be on the schedule. We're removing that inner line, the way that the 16 and 38 come into downtown and they change between each other. They go back and forth between the 16 and the 38 to address that issue, because the 38 has been the one running late on that route. It's then making the Route 16 late, and so we actually just decoupled them and updated the schedule, making sure that the 38 has enough time in the schedule to operate on time, and then making sure that the 16 is able to run on time as well. On the 59, 60, and 78, we're adding an early morning trip, in particular the 60 to be able to catch the beach trolley leaving from Park Street Terminal. The 78 one leaving from Countryside Mall and going into Tampa, and then the 59 going westbound to Indian Rocks Beach. Doing some runtime adjustments on the 70, that one's running just slightly late, and so we added a little bit of more time into the Route 70. And then the Suncoast Beach Trolley has actually had too much time in the schedule, and it's been waiting at a few time points a little bit longer than it should, and so we actually tightened up that schedule a little bit on the Suncoast Beach Trolley. And one other point that I wanted to make is that on all of our printed schedules, and actually on our website, schedules on our website as well, all now have, if they have a variant, if it's an A or a B, they are noted. Each trip on the schedule will be noted whether it is A or B. So it should be it should be much easier to read if you need a 74A, 74B, an 18A, 18B, a 9A, 9B. You can now take a look at the schedule and see which one will serve that area that you need. And so that'll be effective on all schedules. We'll get them on the printed schedules for this February service change, but then on our website, all schedules that have variants will now designate A or B trips. And that is all for our service changes. Yes?
Yes, on the 38 lateness, I had noticed that myself a
Yes.
few times. And ended up instead deciding just not to take the 38 unless it was early in the morning
Right.
because of the lightness
Yes.
and
Right, it got progressively worse as the day went
Yes.
on. Yes, so the early morning you could count on it, but then as it got later, absolutely. So we hope that'll work for you.
I also found and hope, I've taken it since then, the 18 heading south, and even later in the day, it hasn't been later, at least not much.
Okay,
But there was one day that I was about 45 minutes late to where I was going downtown
oh no,
from from Ulmerton and
Okay.
34th. I had called in after waiting a while. I would have, if I had known, I looked on the schedule and
Yeah.
it said everything was fine. If I had known, I just would have taken the 59,
right.
continuing to here to the lay-by
Mm-hmm,
and then, taking a
Taken,
forward,
yeah, yeah.
But I was waiting,
oh no, okay,
I was waiting maybe about 45 minutes an hour for a bus, and then when I called in, they said, yeah, we have 3 backed up. When I got down to Shops at Park Place, right behind us was the next 18.
got it, okay, yes. So hopefully that's not as a consistent issue. If it becomes consistent, that's something where our scheduling team will wanna look at the amount of time on that as part of the 18.
Have they also corrected the problem with the wrong route headers as to which direction they were going, or some even had the wrong route on them?
Yes, that was a part of that interim fix that we did in November. So similarly with the not in service in downtown, the 52 was one of the ones that had a major issue with it, being backwards. And so that should be fixed now. So if you see any of those issues anywhere else in the system, please let us
You're
know.
talking about the things on the buses where it actually shows what the route is?
Yes.
Yeah, the destination sign,
On the the destination sign on the top and on the side.
Yep.
The one other one, and that was that was more of a placard and a familiarity even for the drivers. Other than at Largo Mall, since it's right near where I live,
Mhm.
I guess the biggest hub for me is Tyrone Mall. And it had been changing for a while back and forth
Mhm.
on the 5, the 18, on which side of the entrance they were gonna be
Yes,
at.
that's so
Yes.
annoying.
That should have been official.
Yeah. I was happy that they had the 5 and the 18 on the same side.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they were reversed and, it's going back and forth. Well, that's finally been taken care of,
Okay.
but I had seen the standing placards up that said certain ones were on that side, certain ones were on the other. Great. But the one I saw before that was the one on the far side that said the 18, at least heading north to Clearwater, would stop on both sides. And a week or less later, when somebody had asked on a bus that I was on to be let off on the closer side, they were told, sorry, I can't, I'm not allowed to. And, after everybody gotten off, I had said to them, take a look at the placard. It
Right.
says you're supposed to be at least northbound. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know if he
Mhm.
just wasn't, listening to the briefings, or if his supervisor never told him, or where the glitch was there.
So that sign has changed now, is that what you're saying, Stuart, like the?
No, the sign has, ever since they put the placard up, at least on the west
Yeah.
side, it had said that the 18, at least the one towards Park Street, stops on both
both
sides
sides.
of the entrance. But the drivers don't know that.
Let me check on that 18, cause I know there was one route, but I don't think it was the 18 where the southbound stopped at one and the northbound stopped at the other, but I believe that wasn't the 18, so let me check on that one,
But
about
it's
the
saying
18.
the 18 northbound is supposed to stop on both sides.
On both
when
sides,
it's- yeah.
let me take a look at that, to confirm.
Nicole, if anyone has any other, questions like what's being described, should they contact you? Should they contact now, Juan? I mean.
I think, yeah, either Juan or the CCBN at PST.net email, each of that way we're able to track them as well, so I think that would be a great idea, Gloria.
Okay.
But definitely Juan is always still a resource.
Yes.
Right, yes, go ahead, Mark.
I have 3 things. I've noticed the 66 North is predominantly late. And
Okay.
it's no big deal for me personally because I ride my bike mostly and I can beat, if I have to go from 90th Avenue north up to north up near the transit center, I can beat it by riding my bike, which is not a good sign, of course, but I'm just mentioning it for other people. It's almost always, and it's interesting how it works. It goes, it says it's 3 minutes late and then it just keeps adding and adding and adding. I don't know if there's too many, I don't know, but just so that's feedback.
Yeah, and so
That
you're
one-
saying that's typically this north section
Going
here?
north, yes,
Okay.
up towards the Largo Transit Center, it's active, meaning it starts out at 3 minutes, I don't know where it starts tracking it, but it'll say, like Google will tell you it's 3 minutes late, by the time it gets there, it's very often 20. Yeah, it's kinda weird, I just say that as feedback. Now, this one is personal, I won't go into it, but I'm able, so I ride my bike, but this severe cut on the 59 to me is drastic and impractical. I'm behind, I don't spend a bunch of time on this until I actually experience it, so I didn't know it was coming. I was more concerned about the 62 and whatnot, but 62's improved.
Okay.
Yeah, I love if anybody wants a nice ride, the 62 is just like a dream compared to most of our routes, but it's like the 300X, I mean, it's just like luxury, but the 59, I wasn't aware of the drastic cut, but what I do for a living is I buy vans, and so I have to, when I buy them locally, even Tampa, I drive them back to Largo, right across from the sheriff's office, and then I take my bike and the buses hopefully back over to Pinellas Park. And so it's a 59 coming east. It went from me being able to drop off a van at 10, I like to do it in the evening because there's less traffic, it's safer, cause it's scary being on Ulmerton on a bicycle, okay? Be honest. So it went from being able to pick it up at 10:40 at night. It was a dream ride, there was usually quite a few people on that late, cause everybody knew when the late bus was, okay? So I don't know if it's getting off of jobs or whatever, but, and it's, if you want a nice ride, it goes from Indian Rocks into the transit center and it's, it's a beautiful ride, but they cut it back to 8:30. Now it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and so what that translated into last night was me riding my bike 21 miles.
Wow.
Don't feel bad for me, it's good for me to keep my weight down and but I was dressed like a mummy, cause it was 45 degrees. And I'm like one of the dumbest people I'm out on Ulmerton Road dressed like a mummy and it's such a long hike that I get hot. I just had enough heat coming in towards 49th Street and whatnot, but seems to be, so the other night is when I was discovering how bad it was cut. It stung me because the same thing happened. And so what that meant for me is, okay, now I've got a 6-mile ride home.
Yeah.
But in this case, last night I had to come back right over here, just a mile from this to pick up these vans that we bought, and so it was one after another. I learned from that first night when I discovered this that it now goes westbound later than it goes eastbound. So you're heading towards the Gulf of Mexico later than you're heading into the transit center. So it becomes, instead of 8:30, you can pick this up at 9 o'clock right in front of our dealership. I can ride it out, and a wonderful driver named Reese Santos, doesn't know me, didn't know I was on track. He didn't look too thrilled when I said, can I ride out with you and then come back, cause he was hoping to get home, cause then they can fly down the center lane of Ulmerton and get back to the shop quick. I said, could I? And it worked, and he let me. Turns into the nicest guy. Right at the end, he was so kind, I said, could you drop me off by IHOP? And he's like, after he looked a little unhappy, he did it and he was gracious. And then he pulled right up in front of IHOP. I hope that's all right to tell. Such a nice guy. But my point is, we have a bus with a driver that's going westbound. If you just let him turn it into an active bus, yes, he's gonna have 4 stops a night that he doesn't have right now,
Mhm.
but we got a bus and a driver, and then we would only have a 1 hour cutback instead of a 2 hour. And as I was sitting in Chick-fil-A at 8:45 at night,
Mhm.
and there's no more buses, and there's still Chick-fil-A open, the Largo Mall is still open till 9 o'clock, and the buses end at 8:30. And that's a pretty big road, and so I know it's a personal thing, I still feel bad for Mark, who used to be with us, when they cut his route so he couldn't take his bus all the way from Gulfport or wherever into Feather Sound, do you remember that?
Oh, Mark, go ahead.
He destroyed him,
Yeah.
so it hurts people. I can handle it, but a lot of folks
You know-
really need it,
An
and
interesting point you make is that we are very aware it hurts people.
yeah,
I think those are the kinds of stories that at some point I would love to see getting to our board, because I think that the more that they understand that we, the PSTA is run very efficiently, but in the end, when costs have to be cut, there are people that are affected, and I think those are, I think we've had a couple conversations about the value to individuals, why people ride and how much it means to them, so.
when whoever was
Thank you.
doing the planning, and I don't know how hard it is, it's gotta be mind-boggling, and I don't know if computers help and all, but when somebody said, yeah, let's make the last bus going out towards the Gulf and then we'll just take call it a free ride. I actually think it's more dangerous because they have to stop at the railroad tracks still, and they're in the central lane, cause they're trying to fly by, cause they don't want people flagging them down, begging for a ride. But if we could just turn that thing and we just added an hour to a lot of people that work
Mhm.
or wanna come back to the transit center, because some of these routes still run late, like 18, it's still going, way past that, so I
I think
just
that's
ask,
I appreciate that observation and suggestion, and I'll absolutely
I don't
look
think it
into
would
Yep.
cost much
Yep.
to, some nights it won't cost
Is
anything.
this Monday through Friday or on the weekend?
Monday through Friday, it ends at 8:30, that's the last bus you can get. So the only hope you have is to know that you can get on and ride it east out to the Gulf. It's beautiful to drive out there if you make that bus, but that's 9 o'clock, that's a whole nother half hour. So it saved me
It's already there, why did you get it?
Exactly. Mark, can I ask you,
Hold
what
on,
does
there's too many people
what's
talking.
the destination header on the front say? Does it say out of service or?
Yeah, out of,
Okay.
it says out of service or going back to the shop or whatever it
Yeah,
says.
the garage or.
Garage,
yeah.
that's what it says, garage.
Okay, because from what I
I
understand,
wouldn't.
and this policy, from what I understand, this policy may have changed, because I've been riding buses for about 36 years.
Wow.
Is that if it says if it says out of service, that's one thing, there may be a problem with the bus.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But from what I understand, if it says garage, they are not allowed to not pick up people on the way, so they are not allowed to be in the center.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what that policy
Mr.
is,
Miller
but
just
they're flying down the
confirmed that.
center lane so they don't have to pick people up. And I don't blame them, if they're allowed to get back to the shop, if you wanna,
Well, no, they're not running the route, like you say, but.
Yeah.
But they are-
Like from the end of the line, I think if you want to get to PSBA, they'll take you.
yeah, but they're not
Right,
gonna.
right.
It's so dark out on Almerton in certain places, there's no way, and they're flying down the center lane.
They are
They're not
still
doing anything
supposed
wrong,
to pick
but-
up on the way, so they are not supposed to be in the center lane.
That's what I've always been told.
Okay, that's what I've always been told too.
Well, even, trust me, your odds of getting picked up by a bus that's heading back to the shop at night,
Not
that's,
high.
when it's turned off, is like 1 in
I'd be like,
600.
I always say from the very end of the line, if you're at Indian Ox Beach and you wanted to get a ride, when he's getting on the bus, you can ask the driver and he'll take you back here.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
what about along the way?
But no,
no.
you're not gonna make all the stops. But we can put on the schedule, cause the bus is out there, it's gotta come back anyway, we're paying him.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I'm just saying, I would appreciate it, I know a lot of people,
Another hour,
It
it
would
would add
likely-
about 45 minutes to this, yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
it
would
wouldn't
likely-
add more than 10 minutes on any night for the extra stops.
No,
With
it
the
wouldn't,
exception,
it wouldn't, you're right.
with the exception of going around the Largo Mall, that seems senseless.
the bus is already
But there
out
are people that can't walk that far, and
Gotta come
so
back here anyway.
I just ask, I think it's a minimal expenditure and it would really help a lot of people. I mean, I'm the only one that's, but that's why I'm here.
Yes,
Thank you,
exactly.
thank you, Mark.
Yes.
We got a couple more, Conrad, go ahead.
I don't know if you do it or not, but I wanna see the deadhead, I wanna ride your bus reinforced. Because I don't know if it was new drivers, but I attempted to do that. And they continue to complain and say that, oh no, I can't let you ride the bus. I'm done. It's like, it's a rule and it's a policy and they're supposed to do it, but you can't make them let you on the bus.
Well, I think the fact that we're talking about it, I guess what I'm gonna ask is that we at PSTA check what in fact is the policy, and then maybe it is letting the drivers know that that's the policy, and we can get an answer back here.
Well,
you
the
know.
policy has always been, if you approach a bus driver that's going home, so to speak, that's kinda off, so to
Mhm.
speak. In other words, they're not really on a route,
Deadhead, yeah.
it's called a deadhead, they gotta go somewhere,
Well,
so
let's find out if that what the
it's,
policy
it
is.
is, that's the policy.
Yeah, Brad's,
They're gonna control, they're gonna
I will say, I know that we do that consistently in the early morning, so any buses, when they leave the yard and say, I've taken quite a few buses leaving the yard going to its destination, say Park Street Terminal, they will pick up folks who are out waiting, and they will pick up folks heading on their deadhead into Park Street, so I do know that policy is around, but absolutely.
All right.
I'll try to get a better, clearer exactly what the policy is and then what we're actually doing.
Okay.
we're their
Okay.
friends. We wanna be friends with the drivers and we appreciate them when they pick us up. Just tell them, we're not all nasty.
Can't promise that, but no.
And I just wanna add
I
that,
just said we're not
Oh,
all
no, I'm
nasty.
sorry, Juan was gonna add something.
yeah, I just wanna add that a lot of these questions are really good, and if you could send those questions to us, it would be great for us because we can get to the specific details and that we can bring it to the planning department or the scheduling department.
Or
And then
transportation, yeah.
we would be able to see what we can address, whether it's this service change or the next service change, if it's something that's possible for us.
Thank you,
Yeah, absolutely, good point.
we will help.
Okay, and then Jay, you look like you had a
Yes.
question.
So, I was gonna save this to the member comment, but since we're on, updating the routing, I just noticed an error on the schedule. The 100, map for downtown Tampa is incorrect. It's showing the 300 map instead of the 100 map for downtown Tampa. On the actual, thing, cause the 100 doesn't go on 275, correct? In Tampa, it goes from Marion down to Crosstown, then down to Britton Plaza, over to Gandy, then over here, right? It doesn't go on 275 in downtown Tampa, but it's showing it going on 275 in downtown
Oh,
Tampa.
yeah, it does.
Which is not correct.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's like the same map.
It's that same map, except there's also a printing error on the same map too. Cause it's messed up just completely.
See that, okay.
I
That's
noted
correct.
that, so we'll make sure to address it.
Yeah, I think I noticed it last night or the night before. I was cause I was looking at the 78B, that's the one that goes to Tampa, and that one's
Yeah.
late. I was like, okay, well, let me see which one's gonna be best if I need to go to Tampa at night and on the weekends. 'cause
I just learned that, 78 goes to Tampa.
The 78B
It's
goes to the
taken over
north
the
something.
former-
Monday
Up to
through
the-
Sunday,
It goes to the
7 days a week.
Northwest Transit Center.
Yeah.
78 goes up to the Northwest
Town and
Transit Center.
Country.
up
It's in
on
town and
the waters.
country, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I rode that years ago.
seven,
I forgot about
7
that.
days a
That's
week.
more my, that's
I
my
forgot, yeah.
time,
Yeah.
neck of the woods.
So we now have a Tampa connection, at least
Yeah, it's another.
it's a connection.
Yeah, oh, I've done that,
Yeah.
I've definitely done that.
That's
even know about
7
that.
days a week now, so.
Real quick,
I know of another mistake. I ride on Monday, no, I'm sorry, on Monday afternoons. I ride the whatever bus it is that goes down 58th Street South to Gulfport Library
Yeah,
and
66.
Oh, that
past
used to be
there.
the 23, what's it
It's the
called now?
66
The
now.
66
Yeah,
now?
66 took that part of the
I
23.
think so.
Okay.
And I have a couple times, I've tried to get off at what says on the schedule, at least according to the transit app, is a stop at 27th Avenue South, I believe. And they say, no, I'm sorry, we can't, it's not on the schedule, it's not a stop. And it's always been a stop,
Is there a
and
bus
it's
stop
still
there?
in the transit app as a stop.
Is there a sign there?
But on
But
the
it's
app,
still
it's,
in the transit
on the
app
app,
as a
it's
stop.
Oh, it's in the app. So this is 27th and 58th
That's
Avenue,
annoying.
58th Street South and 27th Ave
I
South.
believe it's 27th, yes.
On Fourth Street, there's 3 stops within 2 blocks.
Okay.
but I thought they got rid of it.
I don't know, we've been down Fourth Street. There's one a block
That
before
should
the
be
donut shop,
around
at the donut shop and block.
66 stop, but if the pole is removed for some reason.
And again, as you know, when you come up with these things, let them know, like right away,
Yes,
you're more than
yeah.
welcome to
Yeah.
send emails in, because those things can get corrected. When we're the ones that know for sure how to contact you, so.
Cause it's in our the transit feed, so how Transit app and Google get all of our information, it is in there as a stop.
And I showed them that and they said, well, we've been told it's not a stop and the post isn't there anymore.
So if that, yeah, and because we still have a route on that street, we'll take a look at that, because then that stop should be put back there, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or it should be moved from the transit app.
Unless it was removed for a different reason, so that's the question, is if it could have been removed for a different reason, and
Could it
then
have been damaged to Milton, not Helene, when they had the flooding down there?
there could have been, there could have been a car that rented, or, we have a lot of things that happen to our bus stops, and so we'll take a look at that stop in particular.
Yep.
That's wild.
There's no sign there as of 3 years ago.
Oh, and Google, history, street view, we'll take a look.
So the sign was taken out 3 years ago, is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know.
It's,
Okay.
we have over 4,000 bus stops in our system, sometimes they can get a little,
The announcement on the bus used to wake me up.
oh, really?
Yeah, and I haven't heard it in years.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much,
All right,
Nicole, that
thank
was
you.
very helpful, and yeah, exactly, I am just awestruck always by the amount of work that has to go into the route changes and the considerations and so forth, so very appreciated, thank you. Okay, and then the next item on our agenda is that we are going to talk about any initiatives that we would have for the 2026 crack year. And this is where we take suggestions and brainstorm for other issues that we want to cover in this year. And again, just taking a step back, I remember when we first started doing initiatives, and it was that at the track, we would see programs from PSTA that we'd vote yes or no, we like it, but we finally said, we have some ideas of our own, we have some things we want to do on our own, and so we've done some very good initiatives in the past, and want to, keep up that trend. And so I guess the first thing that I'm going to do is ask for your ideas on initiatives. I wanna take one step back again and say, the one thing I wanted to say is I know we have for years done the Track Star Awards. And just the other day, I was talking with Elizabeth and she told me about the new Publix that's there on 66 that apparently has wonderful access to a bus stop and so forth.
Oh,
And I
on
said,
38th Avenue.
that sounds like a perfect candidate for someone to bring it up as a Track Star Award recipient. It's always nice when we go to the companies, to the Publix of the world, to even the community. I know we got, by one of the hospitals, we got a good crosswalk in, and we let them know that, hey, we appreciate your making allowances for safe access for pedestrians.
Are you talking about the
Bus riders.
remodeled one there at 66th Street and 38th Avenue?
That's what I think she said, I don't know, I don't usually go there, but she said that on the 66 route goes there, and it's really, a nice, and there's going to be a really nice bus access point there, bus stop. And so I think, those are the kinds of things I would love to have us continue as people see things that are good candidates for Track Stars, that we continue to do that program. And then well, let me get your suggestions first and then I have one more thought.
Mine is, I just wanna know the result, did we ever, did people ever finish the ride-alongs from last year?
We did not, and that's one of the things that what I was going to add is that I would like to see us finish that up. We have some new board members that have never had a chance to do that. I'd like to also think about what can we possibly do to make it more interesting for the board members. I know I left phone messages for several of them, they never ever got back to me, but I'm wondering if there's anything we can do to make it more fun or, you know, a way to understand how we can get them to try to see what it's like, so I would love to see us finish that up. That's a good idea.
And I had volunteered for a ride along, I had mentioned, here at a meeting, I had mentioned to Bob, between meetings and do it, okay, we'll see, there's one person that's willing to take two people and he either doesn't have anyone or only has one of them. But then when Bob got back to me, he said, I'm sorry, that's already, he already has the two people, so yeah, I'd like to do a ride along.
Okay. Yes,
I don't think, it might not fit as an effort for a whole year, just a comment of our collaboration with PSTA. So I actually had a privilege to be on the MLK parade yesterday, and that Juan, thank you, and Brad and Darden, and everyone else who worked on that. I just wanted to say that, and I discussed it and it seems like it's a low effort, it's possible, but what I was saying that I would really love for a marketing department to share any event that is done. If you attend, if you are part of a parade or if you're part of something that is, I don't know, Green Leaves Festival, just to say, hey, we'll have a booth, if you are there, just stop by. It's a low effort, it's nothing, I'm not trying to say that, hey, we all have to go to a parade. I'm just saying that if we know, we can at least tell some people, go say hi to PSTA, or we can also spread awareness. It's nothing to put pressure on anyone, on marketing or on us, it's just exchange of information, nothing.
okay, so you're saying that just to have PSTA let us know as tribe members
Where they
that
are and
with-
and what they're doing, because honestly, it was a thrill, it was actually amazing, and I do it every year, and since I'm kind of like, I feel like, oh, there is a parade, I just go and and join, and thank you for accepting me. But I'm not saying that everyone should do that. I'm just saying us knowing and sharing that information with others because we also have this responsibility to share on social media changes and information about PSTA and things where you have a booth also helps. It's always fun to say, hey, there's this thing happens, stop by PSTA. It's a very small suggestion.
Great one, that I think it's really good. Which that you gave me another idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask some other people first. Conrad, you look like you have a question.
Yeah, I don't see anybody that looks, even though I went to college later, young enough to be a college representative.
Student, yeah, we have one.
We have new applications starting for this.
Okay, and I would like to see the effort made so that we get the requisite number of people on the committee that we're allowed to have. If that means getting more people or, cause I think that if I am not mistaken, but I could be, that we no longer have county specific positions, that there's not a North Counties, Middle County, South County, that you're just on the Transit Riders Advisory Committee. So I would like to see us get up to the whatever we're required to get.
No, we actually have, according to the bylaws, it's 12 people, 2 representatives from North County, 3 from Mid County, 3 from South County, 1 from Beach Community, 2 DART users and 2 students.
Well, I was told that was changed, so.
It was all, okay, so we have even newer
It's now,
version.
it's now a recommendation, but not mandatory.
Okay, yeah, makes sense, yeah.
Is the number capped at 12?
Yeah, cause I think what you're describing, I think I've heard several people talking about that, and I totally agree. I think we, you know, some of us have been on this for a long time, and it's like, I think some more fresh people coming in is a great idea. And having more. We used to meet once a month here, and we used to have a full room, and so I would love to see us, you know, get back to doing
We
that.
had alternatives, right? So I was an alternative when I was beginning. So if my representative was not there, I was able to, so I wouldn't vote, my vote wouldn't be needed, you know, like if my representative was. Do we have that?
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah.
We've also been keeping our eyes open. We've gotten a lot of feedback from the public through the CCBN email, and Nicole can speak to this. We've had quite a few people make very helpful, very constructive suggestions and comments in their interactions with us. And those are people who we've thought about approaching and asking them to consider applying for track membership because, you know, they use our system and they're engaged just like you guys are, but they're just not sitting here, and we think we would benefit, you know, if they were.
Yeah.
That's how I got on.
And with the launch of Spark, we have the student body president of Eckerd College who's applied, so I think the good news is with all of the work we've done with CCBN, we've just reached out to the public in a whole new way, so I think we've got some fresh blood to work
And
with.
I'll add, I know our marketing communications team is listening to the meeting, and so they're hearing your comments and adding it to their list as well for promotion, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Three things real quick. The new funky, nice videos that we're producing with the music and all. I didn't connect with the guy with the fishing pole. Do you know what I'm talking about, the PSTA video?
Yeah.
I didn't really connect with the guy that's pretending like he just rode the bus and then he's going out and he's going fishing. Did you see that video?
Because you don't like to go fishing?
No, it just seemed not practical, you know, like I don't know if they'd want you to be going on to the bus with a
With
fishing
dead
pole
fish.
anyhow, with the fishing hook and
Dead
everything.
fish.
But and then I saw Gloria's video and with her big smile, and I connected with that. I suppose it's cause I know her, but that was a
I
wonderful.
didn't see the video.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
wonderful, it's
you've done
got
a video of
music and
you.
everything,
Well, I think there's a number of them for different
marketing,
different groups of people who connect with.
Where
alright.
do you see these? Cause I want.
I must have been I think
Is it on- is it
Google
linked to the
tracks
website?
you, like if you're looking for information, I
Yeah,
think I think I punched in, I wanted to get a grip on what happened to me with the 59 and I'm looking at, and I think then they put the commercials on just cause they know you're looking for it. Yeah. Second thing, this is a I promised to do this for this guy, I don't have permission to tell you who, but he's in an official capacity and I talked to him last night and long story short, he unexpectedly, I said something about, I was whining about, I was starting my second ride, you know, on the bike and I was like, and I'm on the track committee, I can't stop it, now I'm riding the bike, you know, anyhow, he says, I love PSDA. And I was like, well, yeah, that's nice to hear, you know, cause you don't hear positive. And then he told me he used to ride PSDA when he was a kid and he had a big smile and fond memories. He's now in an official capacity. This is somebody who you'd wanna make a video if he was allowed to by the people that, but I guarantee you'd be thrilled to know that this guy, and he asked me to do he said, tell them, when I was coming to the meeting today, tell them that a citizen asked to please get rail. He really thinks that rail, and I know it's impractical, maybe, but I think it would get the buzz going. I mean, what a wonderful thing that would be for Pinellas County if we could have rail, maybe going over the new bridge or whatever we could do.
It's built for it.
So that's the second thing, and then the third thing, I tended to have you all probably suffered through this with me, cause I was whining about it, but I thought it was a waste of time to do the ride-alongs, okay? Because unless there's a specific mission, like, I just like, I don't know that a couple of people wanna hear my story kind of thing, so I was negative. But they were you guys were advertising, please, you know, we have a few that haven't been, so I did my thing and I signed up for 2. And I contacted the Dunedin people, Bob knows about this, and lo and behold, I've been wrong, and what a response I got. They were like, nothing's happening at first, and then they go, we have a different idea, rather than just ride with one of the two that I had, is like, we would like to have a whole entourage from Dunedin come. And did you know about this,
I
Brad?
think I remember hearing about
And
that.
did you actually do it with the group?
No, my understanding is I haven't followed up because I handed off, cause I want the best person to handle this, not necessarily
Stephanie's
Mark.
working with it.
I think it's happening February
The
eighth
manager. Yeah, I'm not sure of the date.
or
but I know
something
it's-
like that.
I love that, I love what you're describing, because that's the other thing that I know, and I had mentioned this to Darden the other day too, is it's really important that the community people, the, Clearwater City Council, they all need to understand what transit means to Clearwater. Dunedin fortunately has, Julie Bajowski was on the PSTA board and she was the mayor there for years. And she was very pro-transit, and so Dunedin has really good transit representation. And I would love to see Clearwater doing that same kind of thing. I would have loved to have seen Safety Harbor doing that. I may be wrong, but I feel like that's an interesting.
A lot of it, this is a good thing for a lot of people, and if things continue the trends of the last decades, things are gonna get more and more expensive. And less people are gonna be able to afford to have their own car. I don't mean to be negative, but it looks like no matter who's in charge, that's the trend is that you can't afford things that you used to afford back in the '60s and '70s, Not everybody can afford to have a house now, for example, so cars is another thing, and so transit's gonna get more and more crucial. And it's just a matter of how you sell it, and like this, I can't tell you who it was, but he had fond memories of PSTA, but then when he got a car, he stopped riding, which I know that's a negative thing for us, but he was just, but my surprise with these Dunedin folks was they're gonna send a whole group of people and
To make them familiar with.
this sounded like a PSTA commercial. They said to me,
That is excellent.
they said to me, we're interested in sending a whole group so that we can understand the impact of public transit. I mean, they already had this, they wanted to ride the grouper, which I wanna ride the grouper, it sounds like fun, doesn't it? Like, let's all go on the grouper, So that's a big hit, I knew it would be just cause the name is so cool. And I've heard positive stories about it, but they wanna go on the grouper and they wanted to find out about, now I don't know if this is gonna be positive or not, but they wanted to also go on the fancy one with the wheel flares, the one you guys spent all the money on. St. Pete, what's that new? Sunrunner, I've never been on it, cause I don't go down there that often,
Yeah.
but and now we've got the Spark.
Well,
And they were gung ho, so I assume they're gonna jump on this like crazy, PSTA. And of course, they could hammer us and say, how come you're doing all this for south but not north and all that, so if we're prepared, but here is an open door, like if it goes well and we do something to impress them, like that we're responsive, that word will get to Clearwater and that'll transfer to Tarpon. I mean, it really is the way forward, is to have, you gotta sell it, you know what I mean?
No,
'Cause
that's an interesting point that you've made, because we're talking about a couple of different things, and I'm not sure how we should pursue this. This discussion was supposed to be about initiatives, and it's something that we as a track can do, and I think you're talking about something broader than that, but I think a really valuable broader than that. I think maybe what we can do, again, I hate to keep tabling stuff, but is actually maybe have a couple of us talk with PSTA and see what are our options, because the initial initiative for ride-alongs was meant to get our board, the board of PSTA on a bus, because so many of our board members
Don't ride, never
literally,
ridden.
and some have never ridden on PSTA buses. And a board really should have some understanding of what it is, and I think they
one
need to
would
have.
think,
One would think, an understanding of what the lived experiences of people who are riders.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, and it sounds exciting and wonderful, but down on the south end, it's a completely different world. St. Pete Beach,
Oh, God.
and not only we've tried, you've tried, I think other people have tried, we cannot get, even, they don't return the calls, my calls.
Yeah, St. Pete Beach,
And-
doesn't like transit.
I don't know what's going on down there, and I live within 500 yards of it. And once again, the Sunrunner's under attack. They had a big workshop about parking on St. Pete Beach. They came up with some weird ideas about charging a toll to
Yeah,
get
I
on
read
the
that.
St. Pete Beach. And one of the ideas thrown out was, let's take our bus stop back, cause the Sunrunner took part of the
St. Pete
parking
Beach.
lot across from Publix. And we want those spaces back,
There were no spaces there though.
you know,
There was an
they-
entry. They didn't take any
What's that?
spaces.
Didn't take any stops.
They didn't take any spaces.
Truth doesn't mean a thing, it's the perception.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know, it's the perception's going on that
Yep.
the Sunrunner is actually taking up parking spaces.
No, I don't mind at all. Dr. Darden has something.
I didn't think it was true as well, but I don't know what the vibe is down there about things like the toll. I know they, in comparison, I've ridden a bicycle from Dunedin from all the way to back and back. And I will think that St. Pete Beach took a greater hit and damage when it comes to the hotels. Maybe not in the residences, because we don't have as many residences. But business is off, you know, businesses have closed or opened and then closed right back down again. I don't know where they're coming from, I think they're very confused, they're talking about building more condos, a bigger marina.
Okay, we're talking about the initiatives right now.
I
though.
know,
hear-
but
I hear
I
what you're saying,
think
but-
we have a big obstacle there that tied in, we could not get those people for a ride along.
Okay, all right, and I think there are some that simply won't, I think that's right.
And I'm
You
open
had
to the
something?
idea.
I just wanted to say respectfully, as your community affairs officer, I think that the work that you do here in this committee and the potential of this committee is one of the most important things that we as PSTA can do, and PSTA is it's not the staff, it's not just, like, you are PSTA too, and you're an important part of PSTA. And there are, as we know, some challenges in some parts of the county, undoubtedly. But we also have a lot of riders who depend on us, who love our work, and who wanna see transit expanded. And what is so powerful with what you all can do is when we do these ride-alongs and we can tell these stories and we can get that word out and we may not get every board member, but we'll get enough board members. But, you know, I think if we can focus on what we can do, it gives us a little bit more leverage to help deal with some of the stuff that we can't,
Yeah.
or that just
Exactly.
seems like a steeper mountain.
Yeah, we can sell harder, like they're selling negative. If we puff up the Dunedin thing and how it
Yeah.
grows, it'll get in the media.
And we don't have to
And
make
then
it
the
up.
residents will start going, well, how come they
Yeah.
get one of those, you know?
Yeah,
Gloria,
yes.
I'm not sure if Brad remembers this or not, but I had heard about Brad, you know, in newspaper articles and like that, but where I first met him was he and I guess some board members and maybe some officials and possibly some track members were doing a ride along. I think it was on the Sunrunner, I'm not sure. And that's where I first met you, and I mentioned to you about wanting to get on the track board, whether that helped you get on or not, but that's where I first met you, on a ride along that you're doing.
Interesting.
Good influence.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So looping it back to
Yeah.
what we were
Yes,
talking
sorry.
about, the initiatives, okay? Do I hear, first of all, would somebody make a motion that we try to continue with and maybe improve the ride-along program? See if we can maybe tighten up the what we're trying to achieve and maybe expand it a little bit to make it more like a Dunedin type of thing where we actually, you know, like when we reach out to a Clearwater and say, not only to the board member, but also to say to, hey, can you invite some other Clearwater council people to join us for that kind of thing? And so, yes, Martin.
That, in order, I think what you're saying is, I'm a salesman, that's what I've been my whole life. It's all sales.
Sure.
Okay, you can even sell a false, we're all victims of false advertising, but we fall for it. So we're not trying to do anything false, so we have the moral, I would call it the moral high ground. We're not trying to harm the residents of St. Pete Beach. They might be afraid that there's gonna be a stinky diesel bus lowering their property values and bringing in the wrong clientele to their neighborhoods. That's what they think, like Safety Harbor, And some of that could be true, but they could come in an Uber too, and maybe the worst people are coming in luxury cars. And they've got the whole thing so the whole key is sales. So I just thought, my whole objection to the ride-along thing was, well, what's my purpose? Bob and I have clashed, I care about Bob, and I'm sorry you're going, sir.
Well, in fact, we're gonna,
But
Yeah.
The whole thing is attitude, and I rethought it, and I thought, well, I hated doing it, and I'm writing these, and I'm trying to make the email sound upbeat and nice. And I said, I thought I might be able to, I would love the opportunity to share what I've been a 10-year rider of PSTA, all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom,
Right.
So you don't know where that's gonna be, but the whole point was, if you didn't ever start with the sales, it was a sales call. And so, but if we have a specific message that we wanna sell, and everybody gets on that track and sells that's tracks, we have to have a specific sales goal, that's
I
all.
agree with you,
Yeah,
Jay,
Yes, I will make a motion that we take up, whatever the right word is, the ride-alongs, but also with the caveat that we come up with how we actually want the program to be. I would say, cause when I had one of my ride-alongs, I realized that when I got there, oh wait, I didn't have a plan.
no,
It's not
that's
your
a very
fault.
good point, so that we actually have a plan for
Yeah,
any subsequent ride-alongs, I
exactly.
think that's excellent.
I second the motion.
Okay, and all in favor?
Alright.
Okay, anyone opposed? No, well, thank you, so then, are there any other initiatives that you want us to consider before we close down this thing? But that is the one initiative that I think everyone is saying we're doing.
Oh, the one I suggested about
Oh, yeah.
Deadheads?
participation.
Participation
More
in
than
Yeah, that we get students and
Oh, yeah, the
Okay,
people.
well, that is something that PSTA has to do. We're not, we can talk with people as riders and tell them there is this thing called the track, but I think ultimately the initiative for that has to come from PSTA. Yeah, but no,
Well, we can also do what Roman was suggesting, it sounds like we already got the marketing program, they're great, to give you the list of things that we're gonna be, parades and events out in the community that we'll be at.
Mhm.
And maybe keep track of how many that different track members go, and then you win a prize if you go to the most. And Roman's already beating you guys by one.
Oh, boy,
I'm ahead,
There you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say sometimes when the reason for that, and prizes is a great idea. By the way, I was just wanted to say sometimes when I say about PSTA to people, but then when you say about something different, hey, there's a parade, by the way. Do you have any or there's a festival. By the way, there were booths about PSTA. You wanna ask questions, me or them, think about it. It's easier to share with my friends about something different because they're kind of tired already about my notices on PSTA. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of intrusive already. But if I'm talking about something different and say, by the way, there's PSTA, it's easier to share the knowledge.
I make a motion that we adjourn because I'm really hungry and I have to leave pretty soon. And I wanna
Well, we're not
eat
quite ready to adjourn because we have one other thing, and I think we can stop at this point on the initiatives. I think we've covered that pretty well. The next thing we wanted to do is we have a couple of words we wanted to say to somebody who's been really important to our committee for a while. And also, we have a new person who's going to be important to us. So I don't know, Jordan, did you wanna talk about who that one is going to be the new Bob or well, first of all, I wanted to say, I think all of us wanna say thank you to Bob.
Yes.
Thank you,
My
Bob,
Sorry to
Thank
see
you
you
so
go, Bob.
much. Yeah, thank you so much for all that you've done. You've been such a good, important advocate for us.
And all of you, you volunteer, I get paid for this.
And then the other piece on that though is that now that we don't have Bob, we now are going to have Juan. So, I mean, and Juan reports into Darden on this, and so I don't know how, have all of you met Darden? You know, all know who Darden is, right?
Yes.
And by the way, I did not realize, because I didn't realize you were here when you got there, I didn't also say that we are pleased to have Mr. Miller here with us today. Thank you so much, and
So, yeah, just so that you guys know, a few of the staffing changes, yes, we're very, very much going to miss Bob. I realize now, just start with the transition and starting to look and take over some of the stuff with track, I'm like,
yeah.
Bob, please don't go. But yes, you're just an email away. So Carrie, raise your hand. Carrie will be supporting us administratively. So that means she'll be helping us out with just the mechanics of running the meeting, making sure the tech is run well, helping us with the agendas and all that kind of good stuff. And
Make sure
then,
the cards work.
sorry?
And the
I'm
card.
the person to reach out on the cards, for their
Yes.
cards, yeah.
Yes, most importantly, in case the video didn't pick it up, your monthly ridership cards as well. So thank you, Carrie, for that. And Juan, who I think you all know and love, is gonna be stepping into Bob's role here at the meetings. Did you wanna say a couple words?
Well, I know I've met some of you here and there at different events. I think I've talked to Mark a while ago, back in 2020. But you know, it's big shoes to fill. I hope to be very helpful, and I'm very passionate about public transit and our riders. And I wanna make sure that all your voices are heard, and whatever initiatives that you guys come up with, I wanna fully support them and you know, keep growing track, keep the voice of the rider here at PSTA to make sure that whatever changes we make benefit our riders.
And I think and what I would mention, like, I always say to people, send an email to Bob if you encounter something, you know, if you have a question or anything like that. Are you gonna be the email that we send now, Juan?
Yes.
JUAN, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I have some business cards, so I'll hand these out.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And then one more,
And then, go ahead.
I just wanna mention one more thing, we have some signs, if you could sign for Bob, some old bus stop signs that have been
I want a
retired.
photo with you.
And then we have a camera that you can take a picture with Bob as well, so he can cherish this moment and treasure you guys forever.
I definitely want
There
to.
you go. And
Yes.
there's cake too.
And there's cake,
And there's
yes,
cake.
there's cake.
Anything else? Mark?
Because you haven't had enough cake today.
All right, I think
Not the
at this point, we are open for member comments, although I know some people are needing to leave already. I'm sorry, no.
Gloria, I'm not sure where this original idea came from, but there's been some discussion, we don't have to make a decision right now, but there's been some discussion about maybe moving the track meeting to 5 p.m. in order to accommodate people's work schedules. We can tackle that at the next meeting if you want, but I just wanted to mention that was something that's come up.
That makes sense in terms of bringing some of the other people in. I think it ends up being, I know we ended up having real trouble during like like COVID and stuff, when the locked gates came up and you know, getting our rides
Oh,
home
my
and stuff like
Lord.
that, yeah. It's, I mean, it's sort of a tough call, but I think maybe if we ask the current members, we can
Okay.
maybe poll the current members and then ask the new people that are applying.
Okay.
Perhaps people do jobs that are open tool on the market for people who want to be on the track membership.
Right, that's right,
They can make a later hour.
right, yeah. Okay, in the interest of time, and are there any other member comments?
Move to adjourn?
Hmm?
Move to adjourn? I move that we adjourn the
Oh, you
meeting.
moved to adjourn.
I second.
All right, well,
Okay,
we will
Bob,
see you
please
next.
come cut the cake.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
Our next meeting will be in a month, will be on Zoom. It will be on February 17th at 4 p.m. on Zoom.
Yeah, no, I just.